Hi everyone, it's Miss Thongaraj here, and today I'm going to make a video about how to graph a simple quadratic. So let's look at a question together, and hopefully you'll learn a little something from this video. So this is the question I'm looking at today. I'm looking at y is equal to x plus 7 times x minus 5. And I want to make a graph. And what I've realized by looking at some of your work is that sometimes it's hard to make a graph whenever you actually have graph paper in front of you. Sometimes it's easier if you do it on a blank piece of paper. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to make my y-axis, and I'm going to make my x-axis. So if you are having a hard time graphing on graph paper, you might want to try graphing on just plain paper until you master this, and then you can move to graph paper. So let's look at our quadratic. Our quadratic is in factored form, and we know in factored form, whatever the numbers are in the brackets, we use the opposite of those numbers for the x-intercept. So it says plus 7, so I'm going to use minus 7 on my graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 7, and I put a dot not below, not above, but on the x-axis, since it's called an x-intercept, on the x-axis. Next, I have a minus 5, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I make a dot on the x-axis because it is an x-intercept. Now, really, that's the most important thing about a quadratic, knowing where it's going to touch the x-axis. And now, the second most important thing is to understand that a quadratic is symmetric. So you don't want to draw a quadratic that looks like this. That's not symmetric. Your quadratic needs to be even. So it needs to be even so that one side looks like the other side. It needs to be symmetric, not like this, okay? So in order to do that, we need to find the middle of the graph. And there's two ways that I've talked in class about finding the middle. One way is to do the bunny hops. That's one way. Bunny hops. Okay, so let's do the bunny hop method. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This right here is going to be the middle. So what you want to do at the middle is you want to draw a line down the middle. And there's a fancy word for that in math. It's called the axis of symmetry. It's called the axis of symmetry. It's a line that goes down the middle. Now, the reason it's easier with graph paper, without graph paper, is because you know at the axis of symmetry, it has to be the lowest. So I know my graph is going to go like that, and like that, and that looks symmetric. It does not look like this. It looks like this. It looks symmetric. So the only thing we're missing now is the y-intercept, and we know that the y-intercept is found by taking this number and multiplying them. So my y-intercept is going to be 7 times minus 5, which is minus 35. So over here, my y-intercept is minus 35. So that's really easy. We graphed the x-intercepts. We hopped to the middle. We drew a line down the middle. We made our quadratic start at 1 x-intercept, go to the middle, get to be the lowest, and then go back up. And then we found out where it touches the y-axis by multiplying the two numbers in the brackets. So that is the basic way of finding a quadratic.